Hello and welcome back to Talking Giants, brought to you by SeatGeek. It is November 21st, 2025, and we have a Giants-Lions preview in the city of, you ready? Detroit. Did I say it right or wrong?
Wrong.
Shit.
Detroit.
I add a Y. And I can't, Shaun,
what is wrong with you?
I can't even hear it. Detroit.
Justin, you have no idea that you've actually made the conversation into my home right now. So full disclosure, I have two daughters, one of which is like an unbelievable brainiac whiz kid in kindergarten that's like killing it, it's getting some kind of award. And my other daughter...
Are you sure she's yours? Sorry.
Well, this is going to lead it in. The other daughter is much like me, where she's a dude to do, and she's in pre-K, and she's a hard to goal. But like, there are certain things she says, and I had my wife probably crushed me for this, but like, we had a conversation. It's like maybe she needs to like just see somebody about like speech in school because she gets certain words.
I did IEP 504. Oh yeah.
Perfect. So she gets like certain words wrong, like, and it's probably unfair because we're comparing her to her sister, and it's like a whole thing at home. But I said to her, I go, I don't think this is that big a deal. You know, I'm on week 9 of doing this podcast with Justin, and he talks just like Peyton, who's my daughter. And she's like, he talks for a living, and I go, I'm not even kidding. He says certain words the way she says it. So I cannot believe you're starting with the Detroit thing. And I just felt I go, yeah, you could talk to him, but I think you could get at least a career in talking, no problem. Justin does it all the time.
And, you know, funny with me growing up, you know, like I said, IEP, like I went to like pre-K because I didn't speak. So the joke is that I'm making up for lost time. That's the joke, is I'm making up for lost time with all the years that I didn't talk in the beginning. So I'm going to say the Lions from now on. And I also sometimes I'll turn the Indianapolis. I'll sometimes turn that P into an F and I'll say Indianapolis.
Are you kidding me?
Sometimes so it'll slip. That's a little bit less frequent than the Detroit. Like I can't, Shaun, I can't. I'm not even kidding you. I have a hard time.
That's unbelievable. Well, you're going to have just as hard a time as the Giants Sunday. So let's break it all down. But
you want to know what, man? Like, you know, every week brings something different. You know, even though the Giants are coming into this game obviously 2-9, Lions are coming in at 6-4. They're coming off a pretty like embarrassing loss on prime time against the Eagles, a boring game, and you know that they're going to want to come out and they're going to want to punch you in the mouth, especially the Lions being indoors. I think really helps them, especially that offense. I think Jared Goff better hope, and we'll talk about this when we get to the defense. Lions offense.
The Lions are about to embark on this, by the way. This is the first game through the end of the year. They will play every game indoors the rest of the way,
which is great, and they better hope that they find ways to play like LA in the playoffs and or get a home playoff game themselves if they can steal that division away from Chicago. So and the Packers. So anyway, but every single week there's you try, and even though the team is bad and they're not going anywhere this year, you try and find something else. Like last week it was Jameis, and this week it is Jaxson Dart coming back. And I don't think I need to challenge people because I think they are enjoying this. But if anything, I'm trying to tell this to myself. Now that we had a week without Jaxson Dart, and it was the Jameis experience, but it's not even about Jameis or whoever is at quarterback. This is about Jaxson Dart as the future Giants quarterback and franchise quarterback. Yes. Enjoy Jaxson Dart, because I'm going to tell you right now, number one, you don't know when next he's going to get hurt.
Well, so fair.
Now that he's really created this pattern of you never know when he's going to get hurt, you never know when he's going to get concussed or do whatever. Enjoy Jaxson Dart while you still have him. And even if it's for the remainder of the season, there's going to be a point where, even though this season has completely sucked, Shaun, there's going to be a point where you're going to be like, damn, I want to watch Jaxson Dart play football right now. And it's going to be in the middle of April, May, June. And you're going to be like, I'm itching for it. Enjoy Jaxson Dart while you still have him. Be excited about him. And I am excited and interested to see this Mike Kafka-led offense now, and only a Mike Kafka-led offense. What is that going to look like with Jaxson Dart?
Okay, so I think you set the groundwork for this perfectly. I think I speak for a lot of Giant fans. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I woke up this week on Wednesday morning, I had this anxiousness about Jaxson Dart, where you kind of felt based on the end of last week that Jaxson Dart would be ahead of, clearing this concussion protocol for this game. But I swear to you, I have a lot of conversations with myself, and I said, I have zero interest in watching a Mike Kafka coach, Jameis Winston-led offensive game in Detroit versus a hungry Lions team. And if I were to rank the last 5 years, and we've seen a lot of these bad quarterbacked games, believe me, of games at the end of the years where you're like, man, this feels like an obligation to watch Giants football more than a want to. I think versus this hungry Lions team where you don't trust our defense, which we'll get to later, watching not Jaxson Dart play in this game, I think would have ranked right at the top of the list, considering opponent and all of that. So I'm fired up and I'm there for the Jaxson Dart experience here in terms of now what it'll look like with Mike Kafka. I'm interested in a couple things here, Justin. The first thing I'm interested in, you mentioned you never know when he's going to get hurt again. He missed a game now for the first time in his career after this. Was 1 week off enough to have it in the back of his mind and learn a lesson in terms of something he was progressing on, making slides on the run? I thought he was doing better at that. I'm curious to see if there's any, I hope there's not hesitancy. I think that's the wrong word, but just, another step towards I do need to protect myself because I need to have learned my lesson last week because I missed a game and I wasn't out there for my teammates. So I think that's number one, what I want to see in this offense. And number two, great strides last week with Jameis in the run game. And we talked about the offensive line moving bodies. There's that stat out there where Jonathan Taylor himself has rushed for more touchdowns as a person than 29 other NFL teams. One of them, of course, being the Colts because you can't rush more than your own team. One of the other two teams was the New York Football Giants. Did you know that? The New York Giants are one of two teams not in the Colts that have rushed for more touchdowns than Jonathan Taylor himself. I want to see the Giants build on that and be able to trust their ground game. That was a fear we had last week without Jaxson Dart's legs. Would the ground game get going? They built on that, and you're going to need it in a game like this where you try to keep the Lions off there. So it's so funny. We talk about Jaxson Dart throwing the football, Isaiah Hodgins out there. We'll talk about all of that, but actually what I want to see from this Dart-led offense is the ability to still lean on the ground game not involving Dart. And when Dart does take off and run, has he learned a lesson? Those are the two things out of Kafka's led offense now, what I want to see out of Dart and what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, certainly they did a great job last week, and I don't know how sustainable this is. They ran a lot of plays, Shaun. They ran a lot of plays. And in one of those drives that they ran a lot of plays, they didn't walk away with any points because they went for it on fourth down, and you didn't convert. And hey, game situation, should you take the point? I hate that fucking phrase, take the points. But anyway, running a lot of plays. They weren't an overall very efficient rushing offense. So that's maybe one thing that I would like to see. And this Lions defense, they're a good defense all around.
Kelvin Shepard doing a good job, man.
They're 10th in EPA per rush, which I do want to bring up to Kelvin Shepard and the ties to the Giants and how funny that is. I do think he is a future head coach in this league. May even take 1 to 2 years, but I think he is. 10th in EPA per rush. This Lions defense is really, really good. And I think statistically, I think they are better than what they were doing under Aaron Glenn, for the last couple of years too. So I don't know how sustainable it's going to be for the Giants to hand the ball off and get 3.7 yards per carry and just have these 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus play drives like they had last week. But that's where Jaxson Dart comes in, where I think he does bring that element of explosivity with his legs and then also with his arm. But Shaun, all of this to say, and you brought up Jaxson Dart running, it's going to be talked about the first thing in the broadcasts, whether it's the first thing they talk about when Dart comes on the field or after his first rush attempt. They are going to be talking about how are you balancing Jaxson Dart and him running. If anything, they're going to go down to the sideline reporter and they're like, hey, Aaron Andrews, what are you hearing about how Jaxson Dart's going to protect themselves? Well, Mike, blah, 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 blah. So I do want to give these stats of Jaxson Dart and running because it is so integral to, I think, why he's being looked at as an above average quarterback in the NFL right now. I don't think it's as bad as 2022 Daniel Jones, where it was tilted towards his scrambling and running. I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, it's definitely not.
But still, if you remove Jaxson Dart's legs, you're looking at an average thrower. But with his legs, you're looking at an above average quarterback, and you can't take that away.
That's unfair, by the way.
So here's Jaxson Dart's, and I know that. And here's Jaxson Dart's rushing numbers among other quarterbacks. He has the 4th most rush yards, only behind Fields, Allen, and Herbert. And remember, he hasn't played in as many games as those guys. He's number 1 in the NFL in total rushing EPA, total, while also not playing 4 less games than most starting quarterbacks. 12 runs of 10 plus yards. That's tied for the second most. 20 runs of 15 plus miles per hour. Drake May has 33, by the way. What an athletic freak. And then also Justin Fields with 44, also an athletic freak, which he can throw the football. 8th in yards per carry amongst quarterbacks with at least 20 attempts. So, Shaun, like, I think the answer of how does Jaxson Dart protect himself, I don't think it's he can't run as much. You know, hey, if you're down by multiple scores at the end of the game, yeah, checkbox. Don't necessarily run him there. But him scrambling, the design runs, especially inside the red zone, I don't think you can't take that away when he is so good at it, and it is such a source of this Giants offense. You mentioned that great stat about the Giants as a rushing team compared to like Jonathan Taylor and how they're up there. And I really think that is mostly due to Jaxson Dart's legs being a threat, especially inside the red zone.
There's no question about it. And for any Giant fan that's going to sit down, and thank you, of course, for always listening to us and enjoying the pod. But if you sit down on Sunday and the moment Jaxson Dart takes off and run, you're going to be screaming, no, don't, why are we doing that? You're not grasping who Jaxson Dart is as a player. And I think we've reiterated that. This was who Jaxson Dart was at times in college. Now, yeah, it gets amplified when taking NFL hits like that. But this is not new in terms of rookie quarterbacks with their legs and their ability. Hell, it was a big talking point in Buffalo the first 2 years of Josh Allen, where there was even some thought, ironically enough, involving Brian Dable, where are you running Josh Allen too much? Or do you need to run him even a little more? And this is Jaxson Dart's game. And I think as the offense evolves and as Jaxson Dart evolves and you add more weapons at his disposal, I think that still remains a big part of this. Jaxson Dart himself is the weapon in the Giants offense without Malik Neighbors, without Cam Scadaboo. Now, Tracy last week came along, so I'm hoping you get to lean on that. So as long as he is the weapon, what his strength is with running the football is going to come to. Now, why I said that's unfair before when you mentioned the average throws, all this other stuff, we've seen it with our own eyes. And this is where reading stats on a piece of paper and what the final numbers indicate don't always tell the story. He has been let down by horrific drops at times this year, namely, although he's played well the last 2 weeks, Theo Johnson, of course, Darius Slayton. And that can get in the back of a quarterback's mind as a game goes on, right? Do I want to rip it in there to this guy? I don't necessarily have the trust to do this. I just think that maybe adding an Isaiah Hodgins this week, if he gets in a rhythm with him early, remember he didn't play obviously last week with him, get some sure-handedness. Getting trust back in your receivers that they're not going to drop balls will only allow him when he keeps his eyes downfield to maybe go, you know what, now isn't the time to run. I am going to rip a throw in there. But I don't think that this is going to be something prolonged in his career. I think he's going to use them as a weapon when he has to. But when he is the weapon, this is a win-at-all-cost player. And I'm not going to scream and yell at the beginning of the game if he takes off a couple times. I mean, even the game he got hurt, it was only 5 design runs by the time he got hurt, and that's the third.
And ironically enough, that was the game that you felt like he protected himself the most.
Exactly. So he was making strides in that. So let's all not just lose our collective cools. This is who Jaxson Dart is. This is the evolution of the position in the NFL. And I think what Jaxson Dart has gone through this year is probably a sign of things to come as we continue to draft very mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, that is what they're going to trust early. The difference between him and Justin Fields is that he keeps his eyes downfield and can rip the throws in. But these other playmakers around him have to make plays so that he starts to gain that confidence back, that it doesn't always have to be about him and his legs.
But I will say, I do want to, I would challenge him. Take it personal to be available for your team.
Yeah, I think great point.
He takes it personal to compete. He takes it personal to, like, oh my God, I want to lower my shoulder and show my guys that I'm out there for them. Like, all that stuff is great. And I think if it's a 3rd and 1, if it's a 3rd or a 4th down and you got to do that, all right, man, you got to do it. I'm not going to hate you for being competitive there. But there just has to be a balance. And just like you take it personal that you want to compete, that you want to win every play, you want to win every rep, like that's great. I want my quarterback to have that. But you also have to take it personal to be out there for your team. Where even if, how many times has he checked into that blue tent, man, and how that disrupts a drive where you're driving down the field, you cross the 50, and you got to have another quarterback come in, and it just ruins the whole flow of a game and flow of a drive. How many times has that even happened? Forget missing an entire game. Take it personal to be out there for your guys, because you need to be out there. You need to be out there, regardless of if you're a 2-win team or you're an 8-win team,
I think it's the biggest question of the whole game. I do. I think you hit on it, and I kind of think he will. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna get the Bronx cheer from home because you're gonna see I guarantee that first drive he has a play, slides right away, and he pops off, and you're gonna see the camera on him, and he's gonna be laughing. That is take that to the bank.
Yeah. We'll do it, and don't just do it for one play and be like, all right, look,
I
did it. You gotta keep it
I know,
up. And
but he was building on
challenge
that.
with them. Yeah,
he was building on that, and you know that.
All right, man. So other things about this Giants offense, I do want to talk about this too. I tweeted out this stat. I was doing some watching the Knicks. The Knicks were on late Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me just look at StatHead and NFL Pro and where's this Giants offense at? I haven't checked like some stuff in the last couple of weeks. I mean, every week I look at where they're at season wide, but it's been a couple of weeks since I checked since Jaxson Dart took over numbers. And man, since week 4 when he took over, the Giants offense is 11th in EPA per play in the league. They have scored the 6th most touchdowns. And Shaun, if you told me in August that after Jaxson Dart takes over, the Giants are going to be top 6 in touchdowns scored, I'd be like, oh my God, we may be in the playoff hunt. That's what I would have. Yeah. That's what I would have told you. So again, back to my intro point, enjoy Jaxson Dart for however long that he's out there. And I hope that we get to watch him for every single game for the remainder of this year, because you haven't said this about it. I mean, even 2019 Daniel Jones, where we had a little fun there, they weren't top 10 in touchdowns scored like this,
And very quick, big picture, I think that is what the frustration, if you really didn't think about what the frustration of the season is we've been dying to score points like this. And Jaxson Dart has been able to do this even while losing his best weapons along the way. So that's what's so crazy, that this team's 2-9, and all the things we used to dream about this offense being, they've become. So that being said, keep those good times rolling here. And also, all the cold weather that's evolved. Jaxson Dart answered the bell a couple weeks ago until he got hurt in a snowy, windy game in Chicago. A little dome game here for Jaxson Dart, with not weather being the element. Now let's see him rip some throws inside.
What are your? Do you have any strong thoughts on this Lions defense? Like, where do you want to go first?
First of all, it's very rare. I talked to Mike Valenti in Detroit, who's a big radio host there, and he said, the numbers don't actually tell the full story of the Lions defense, and that, guys like Aiden Hutchinson this year seem to be kind of having that Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter type of year, where whenever he has a sack, it's not really the type of sack you're talking about, and it's all about pressure. So I kind of think it's funny. I think this is a very advantageous spot for the Giants offensive line versus the Lions defensive front. And this is obviously a middle of the Lions defense where maybe they can give you some kind of fits. But I actually think while everybody focuses on what the Lions do around the edges, it actually feels like a game that Illuminor and Andrew Thomas can probably feast on in terms of pass protection, and giving Jaxson Dart, that ability to kind of throw it into their coverage.
Bingo. And if I had to, power rank the two things that I'm most excited about on this football team right now, in terms of like the long-term future, it is Jaxson Dart number 1, and then how this offensive line is playing, number 2. And I think you saw the Eagles obviously, take care of, do a solid job against these edge rushers last week. Aiden Hutchinson has always been like a really good pressure guy. I mean, even still with 7.5 sacks this year, he's nearing 20 quarterback hits. He's a really good player. They got another edge rusher on that opposite side. Al-Quadin Muhammad, who's also having a solid year too. He's
Jack
getting a
Campbell
lot of pressure.
Comes from the linebacker position a ton.
Jack Campbell has 4 sacks on the year, 4 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. So whenever he's getting in the backfield and he's getting his hands on the quarterback, it's resulting in a negative play. Jack Campbell leading all linebackers in tackle percentage and run stop percentage this year. Draft interior linebacker high in the draft. It'll be worth it, even if they're not the most athletic guy. That lesson has been taught throughout the NFL draft the last couple of years.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I actually didn't see this on the sheet. The Lions, I think, are top 10 in blitz rate, and that seemed to be something early on that Jaxson Dart was thriving on against the blitz. So I'm anxious to see that.
Bullets rate?
Blitz.
Oh, blitz rate. Yes. Oh, I'm like, what is bullets rate? Are you trying to make us? Well, you've done this.
So you
before.
Can't say words right, and you can't hear them right either. Apparently.
I thought you were doing this. I thought you were gaslighting me, and you were trying to make up a stat that I'm like, and you were about to get me really excited that you were about to tell me a new stat that I've never heard of.
No.
Like, what's bullets rate? Is that hard? Is that like hard throw rate? Like, do we track amazing. That?
Maybe that is a stat. No, blitz rate. I think they're top 10 in blitz rate. Correct me if
they
I'm
are.
wrong. Okay. And again, Jaxson Dart has thrived against the blitz too. He could take advantage of that as long as a receiver can catch the freaking football when he rips it in.
The thing with Dart and like it's eye test, and then it's also like, dude, he actually is so much better statistically when he gets rid of the ball fast and under 2.5 seconds. Like, he's top 10 in EPA per play. But then when he holds onto the ball for a longer time, and then typically when you hold onto the ball for a longer time, that's when you're getting pressured. Right. Inevitably, that's just how the game of football works.
Sure.
Whether that be an O-line thing or whether that just be a quarterback-driven thing, right? And then like he is 27th. He's 27th in EPA per dropback when he holds onto the ball for longer than 2.5 seconds. But still, like, in your head, that doesn't fully make sense, because how many times have we seen him create and do good stuff and do some fun stuff? So this is a Lions team, I will say, that they allow like the longest average depth of target in the league. I think it's like around 9 yards. That's crazy. So they allow quarterbacks sometimes to hold on to the ball for a long time. They play a lot of cover 1. They play a lot of cover 3. They pressure the quarterback. But I think just based on the tendencies of how this Lions defense is going, they're allowing quarterbacks to throw the ball down-ish the field and stretch the field a little bit. But they're still a really good unit. They don't allow a very high completion rate. And I think that's maybe by design. When you are allowing teams to throw the ball down the field, typically your completion rate is lower, and if you're not giving the easy stuff down low. So I'm excited to see what this offense looks like against the Lions, how they choose to attack, how this offensive line can continue to perform as a pass blocking unit and as a run blocking unit. Definitely more confident in them as a pass blocking unit, but they are good. This is a good defensive front, but you want to know what? They've played good defensive fronts, and they've held up.
They've passed those tests with flying colors. Remember, we were on panic mode versus the Denver Broncos, and that was a big story that week.
And they had a good game then too.
Yep.
And that's a team that brings a ton of pressure. So I want to read this stat, Andrew Thomas, because NFL Pro Next Gen put this out. Andrew Thomas has allowed the longest average time to pressure among left tackles this season, 4.03 seconds, which is an eternity. An eternity in the NFL. And just a 7.6% pressure rate, the 11th lowest among players at his position, man. It's awesome. Like, if you look at the composite rankings, by the way, win rate, pass block win rate, run block win rate, and stuff like that, but especially with pass block, Ben Baldwin puts out every week of like tackle, guard, center, and like the win rates of those positions. The Giants are actually higher. The Giants are 11th or 12th, and the Lions are like 22nd. It's almost like a role reversal here. So it's crazy.
Remember this, Justin. You love looking at those Giant stats since Jaxson Dart returned, who also returned.
Jaxson Dart returned,
when Jaxson Dart started.
Oh, Andrew Thomas.
Those stats are every bit Andrew Thomas stats as they are Jaxson Dart stats. Remember when James Hudson played for this team?
I argued, and I will still, it was a good debate that was happening this offseason. It may even still be a good debate now, knowing how bad the Giants defense is. As I'm 40 minutes into the show. No, we're not.
Look at this.
Usually the lights turn off after 40 minutes. It means I've been sitting down for 40 minutes. Who's the more important player to the Giants' success? Andrew Thomas or Dexter Lawrence?
Andrew Thomas.
I would agree, man. I would agree.
Andrew Thomas. Well, look here. I love Dexter Lawrence, obviously, and I know we've been very hard on him this year, and I think deservedly so. For as great a D tackle as he's been, and for his all-world and Ring of Honor as he's been the last couple of years, and it's not all his fault, the defense as a whole still gets obliterated on the run year in and year out. The Giants offense actually legitimately moves the ball and has an ability to score points no matter who the quarterback is when Andrew Thomas plays football. Yeah.
I can't believe we are 24 minutes in, and I feel like I haven't even talked about everything I want to talk about, but I do want to talk about Shopify, because today's preview pod is brought to you by Shopify. Shopify is the best place to start and grow a business, which is why we partner with them here at John Boy Media. John Boy Media has relaunched our merch store on Shopify with our new /line site, and it was a dream. We brought the ideas, and Shopify brought the execution, As you're shopping our new launch, check out what Shopify can do for you. Life really is a touchdown when you have Shopify on your side. Shopify Sidekick, Shopify Magic, and the suite of AI tools are a total game changer. It's revolutionizing the way you can build and manage a business. You'll have your own AI assistant guiding you on everything. Directions, reports, editing images, content ideas. Shopify's got your next move covered. If you're ready to take that business idea from a draft to a reality, it's time to head over to shopify.com/giants. Shopify is the perfect partner for any business roster, so make sure that they're on yours today. Yeah, Shaun. Some other stuff that I maybe want to see from this Giants offense is how much more under center are we going to see?
Yes.
The Packers game had the highest rate of under center snaps at 40% all season. Now, the Bears game was not far behind, and that was a Jaxson Dart game at 37%. So I think you were starting to see this Giants offensive coaching staff lean into that. Will that also be a Mike Kafka thing? I would kind of venture to say yes, just based on thinking of what the 2022 identity was and also what the Packers identity was last week.
I also think the other thing I want to see, and we don't know this at time of recording, depending on when you listen to us. I know depending on a day, everybody consumes Talking Giants in a different way. What the hell is the wide receiver snap share going to look like? Because Darius Slayton is still banged up. If he cannot go, is this team really just going to run Jalen Hyatt out there as the outside X receiver here in the spot?
Yeah, or you just go 12 again.
12, right, that's what I was going to bring up. Or you going back to the 12 personnel looks and just having Isaiah Hodgins and Wan'Dale Robinson on the field with those two tight ends working?
Yeah,
because the thing is here, and I know I've been hard on Slayton. You mentioned the Lions, I guess willingness would be the word, to be susceptible to the big play as opposed to letting you work down the field. Well, without Darius Slayton, your next option for that, because it's typically not Isaiah Hodgins, would be Jalen Hyatt. But I just don't know how the way last week's game unfolded, and knowing that you want Jaxson Dart to feel comfortable and confident in his receivers and not have to feel like he has to take off and run at times, I don't know how you give a high snap share to Jalen Hyatt in this game. And I think that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I don't. Even when he's out there, Shaun, what is he going to do?
Well, my point would be I want less of him out there as even an option with play design.
Right.
Because think about it, man. I mean, they designed that 4th and 3 where Jameis Winston got sacked last week. If you go back and watch, I know you did on the film too, you saw where Jalen Hyatt is screwing that up. The end of the game, Jalen Hyatt is screwing that up. That made me uncomfortable in Mike Kafka's designs last week. It made me uncomfortable how comfortable Mike Kafka was at scheming stuff up for Jalen Hyatt, and I want to get completely away from that with Jaxson Dart returning this week. Yeah. That's all.
I would say the only plus to having Hyatt out there is simply from a personnel standpoint of, you love the word advantageous. You've used it once this episode so far. Take a shot every time Shaun says advantageous.
Is that my crutch? I love that. Please call me out on those.
Every week you would use it at least once on the preview pod. I think it's just beneficial if you have no other wide receiver that you really rely on, which, do I want to see Gunner? Gunner's a slot guy. He's not an outside guy.
Right.
And I certainly don't want Wan'Dale on the outside. I'm still waiting to see Jalen Hyatt run out of the slot a little bit, but that's not going to happen. Anyway.
Do they elevate McLeod now? They didn't use that third elevation?
No, I don't know, man. But I think it's just beneficial to have Hyatt out there because if you want to just get an 11 and then put a corner on the field instead of another like a safety or a linebacker, which the Lions do have like a good amount of linebackers. Like even Malcolm Rodriguez is a backup linebacker that I really like, and even though he's really small and tiny, take off all linebackers.
Did he get designated to return here?
Malcolm Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
On the depth chart, he is not indicated in any color, which typically red would mean he's injured. So
that means he's back.
No, but they still have Jack Campbell. They still have Alex and Anzalone. They have a lot of guys on their injury report. I mean, even including their 2 tackles, but they've played. Brian Branch is on their injury report. I think he's been playing as well. Terran Arnold had a concussion. So, I mean, they're pretty banged up, but I think these guys are kind of getting through it. The Lions and the 49ers cannot catch a break with injuries. But my long-winded point, it may be good to run out of 11 personnel it's a better rushing formation. So there's less guys in the box, and you're putting another corner on the field. That's my only benefit of having Jalen Hyatt on the field.
All right. Just put a pin in that when we do the recap episode. Let's see how much he played and if that added any sort of benefit to the team.
Yeah.
That's all.
But they will lean into more 12 because they may even feel better throwing out of 12 than sometimes they do out of 11, which is sad.
I think with their personnel, they have to.
Which is very, very sad. So, All right, man. Anything else? I mean, I will say, like, every single week, I feel like the offense is more complex. The offense is more exciting. You're more excited about the offense. I also I have a note here that I maybe want to see a little bit more play action. They really, really have strayed away from play action with Jaxson Dart.
Well, play action typically works better under center. So unless you're establishing a run game under center, it's very hard to get anybody to fool on a play action under center.
Right. So that's why
those things go hand in hand.
Right. Those things do go hand in hand. And, knowing Mike Kafka, knowing the 2022 identity that we saw, really, really heavy play action. There was a point where we were getting mad at how much play action we were seeing, even when the running game wasn't working towards that middle end part of the year. So will we see that? Again, just interested to see how Jaxson Dart can evolve as a quarterback and do more of the big boy stuff that I think he can do and I think he is ready for. So cool.
Cool beans, as the kids like to say.
Giants defense. I don't know how much time we're going to spend on this, but Giants defense versus Lions offense. You have the Giants' worst run defense in the league facing a team that just got embarrassed on national television. Jared Goff, I think, is going to have an efficient game, but he may not even have that much pass attempts because wasn't it what game did Dan Campbell first take over as play caller? The Commanders game?
Commanders game, yeah.
And man, did they run the ball a shit ton, and they scored 44 points. And I can very much see that happening. Okay,
so big picture, this might actually be the oh, wait, now we really are firing Shane Bowen game, just in terms of, and I don't want to talk about that, and we can talk about that at a later time. I don't see how the Giants stop Jahmyr Gibbs in this game. You could talk about getting after it when they drop back and pass and slowing down Jared Goff was so clunky. Like, yeah, I think there'll be opportunities. He doesn't have his safety blanket and Sam Laporta right now, which was huge for him over the field. But in terms of running the football, Jahmyr Gibbs' speed, and you saw the way the Giants played, obviously, those back-to-back games versus Saquon and McCaffrey. I think there's a whole nother animal with the tandem of Montgomery and Gibbs, and I just think any kind of concept and design where Gibbs kind of gets to that corner, first of all, our linebackers are just going to lack the sideline-to-sideline speed as they notoriously have, and I have no faith in our corners not to, screw up, contain, or even just kind of muscle their way in there. I think this is the stuff of nightmares, man. Like, I think Jahmyr Gibbs can go off for like 165 yards on the ground in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants could score 26, 27 points, and I still think there's a world where they lose by 10 points.
Oh, I think, dude, I think the magic number for the Giant defense is, can they give up less than 34 points in this game?
Yeah.
I really think so. In an indoor track meet like this, knowing the way you play the run game, and we'll talk about this when we do the touchdown draft and whatever. I don't envision a world where the Giants are not giving up at least 34 points in this game. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the run defense. They're the worst in the league. They're literally bad at everything. There is no silver lining there, and I think Jared Goff, even if Shane Bowen mixes up man and zone, and man, there are certain points this year where we've given like, oh my God, he's not just playing cover one. Woo, Shane Bowen. I still think Jared Goff is going to be able to read this defense like a book. He's going to be playing indoors again, where he's going to drive. He just naturally drives the ball so much better when he's outdoors. He has a sub 60% career completion rate. Now, when you have Amon-Ra and he's in the slot, and whatever slot corner the Giants choose to go out there, I mean, at the end of the game, they're experimenting with Nick Jones.
I don't know what the hell they're doing. Drew Phillips needs to be on the field and run support in this game. Period. Stop. I don't know what the hell is going on with their disinterest in Drew Phillips. That guy is not fearful of tackling. He is not fearful of engaging. He is somebody that needs to be on the field as many snaps as possible versus a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery offense. Period.
But every rose has its thorn, Shaun. If the guy can make a play for you, especially in run defense, and he could force an incompletion, he'll certainly make an interception from time to time. But I mean, if it's him and Amon-Ra St. Brown in man coverage, like Amon-Ra is going to eat him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. And
no kidding, Justin. Amon-Ra's not going to eat Nick Jones for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right. But there's no answer for this Giants, especially in the secondary. There's no I trust that.
If there's no answer, at least give me the guy that I know our biggest weakness is against the run that will freaking go in there and run the football. And here's the thought: with Drew Phillips and company on the field, I don't know. For the first time all year, maybe you want to send a nickel corner on a blitz every once in a while, too. Hey, that could help.
Since Dan Campbell took over play calling, it's been a big Jameson Williams breakout. He has a touchdown over the last 2 weeks. And, man, that speed, like, good luck. If you want to play cover one, if you want to play man coverage across the board, no one is going to catch up to him. No one. He will run across the field. He will get big plays. He will kill you that way, especially, when this defense is really good at taking angles too. If he gets the ball in the middle of the field and you take a bad angle, it's goodbye. And Jameson Williams could have a big game. Have a big game here too. So
Jameson Williams is catching a ball north of 40 yards total in this game. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, even the yak play, it doesn't even have to be like the deep ball, but just
that's what I mean. No matter what, he's going to have an enormous play in this game.
Yeah,
it's about not allowing him to have 3 enormous plays in this game.
Now, I will say, not to just totally poo-poo on the Giants. Like, you try and give some sort of, all right, here's how they could win. The interior offensive line for the for the Lions as a pass blocking unit is in a tough spot. Like, especially that interior. And even the Eagles edge rushers were able to find success last week. Both tackles, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker, are struggling with injuries. I think they're going to play. I think they had the same practice status last week of do not practice, but they go out there and play. They have to play because they're good, and I think they're holding that offensive line up. Shaun, I am sick and tired of looking at that half sack number for Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I am too. I'm tired of hearing about pressures. I keep going back. The Bear game still drives me nuts because I think that is the clear definition of pressures look really good on paper until you realize a quarterback escapes pressures that count on stats and still makes plays down the field. You got to get home. And Abdul Carter's been under off the field ire, let's just say, this week. And obviously with that pickup last week, if you're starting to rank, Giants who from now until the end of the year, these final, what do we have, 6 games left at this point? 7 games? I've lost track of these games left. I think that he's probably number one in terms of, all right, I need to see more evolution of your game in these final weeks to give us some kind of real confidence and mojo, and that would be raising those sack numbers and now getting home. He had that awesome play last week where I thought it was the throw of the game from Jordan Love where he just, boom, barreled into him. Show a little more moves, a little more leverage. I'm with you, man. Like, get home in this game. This would be a great Abdul Carter opportunity. Hopefully he's had a good week where he's not late at practices and whatnot, especially with Kayvon still hurt. He has a chance to eat on the outside. Go get after it.
Yeah, I think you're getting to a point where, like, I hope for his sake, if there's going to be one thing that's going to, get you up and get ready to go and want to play your ass off, it's the fact that whether you feel like it's justified or not, you were called out this week. I mean, hey, he was even, barking back on Twitter with the Dan Duggan report about I wasn't sleeping. I was in the treatment room. So,
and then conveniently deleted a bunch of tweets, which was interesting.
So he's feeling some kind of way about how this is all being presented and how he's being presented out there.
Remember, Justin, it's crazy to think about now, but it was around this time of year last year where we started to worry about Malik Neighbors and things he was saying, maybe things on social media, things that were coming out. Is he not a good teammate? Is he a me guy? And it almost like he took some kind of wake-up call. He got talked to a little bit by Dable. And for those last 5-6 weeks, Malik Neighbors was nothing but a good soldier, let's say, in terms of everything that came out of his mouth. It was like a light bulb switch. Clearly somebody got to him. I hope that's the case here and we see that same kind of evolution because it wasn't even a thought this offseason with Malik Neighbors as far as not being the ultimate teammate after that.
If anything, I mean, I look at Neighbors as kind of like the competitive leader of the team.
Yeah, I agree. And
I think he sets a standard, and for how I don't think it's like OBJ emotional, but for he takes the shit personal, man. He takes it personal of losing and not performing and not being up to things, not being up to the standard.
The Giants have 4 of those guys. The Giants have 4 of those guys. It's Burns, it's Neighbors, it's Dart, and it's Scadaboo. And 2 of those guys are out, and they've missed that dearly.
And you want Carter to be one of those guys too.
Exactly.
And the thing is that I don't think you can't sit back and be like, oh, the guy sucks. But now that spotlight's on you, man, and not only, hey, if you're getting caught, being late to meetings, sleeping, whatever the real story is, but you got 6 sacks on the year and you're getting all the pressures. I feel all right. Like, all right, he's still playing his ass off. And at the end of the day, he's a pass rusher. Like, okay. I'd probably want to sleep through Shane Bowen's meetings too. But it's that half sack number that, regardless of pressures, how you're actually playing, what impact you're having, how bad the defensive coordinator is, does the back end hurt the front end? It don't matter, man. You got one teammate that's leading the league in sacks with Myles Garrett, and then everybody else is behind him, and they all look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get that monkey off your back.
No doubt. So you're saying you want Abdul Carter to be playing with a full sack, not a half a sack?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Shaun, you know what? Maybe we'll just start doing this before we move on to segments. Give me your offensive and defensive I want more out of your ass player of the week.
Oh, I love this. Okay. So I want more out of your ass offensive player of the week. It's going to be Theo Johnson. We have patted yourself on that. We have patted you on the back now 2 straight weeks. You have answered the bell and not dropping passes. Your quarterback in what could become a track meet on Sunday needs you to continue that progression. You don't get a pass now because you've had 2 great weeks. Take that another leap, become that reliable player. We talked about 12 personnel. I want to see a couple bigger plays here from Theo Johnson and continue to evolve into a reliable target where you kind of shake some of those demons of drops beyond you. As far as the defensive, get more ass out of your player of the week. You just mentioned the interior of the Lions defensive line. Last week, I thought was the best game of the year so far for Dexter Lawrence. So Dexter Lawrence, this is, wait for this word, an advantageous matchup for you versus the interior of the Lions defensive front, and both in terms of not allowing those run lanes in the middle, having a full sack, in terms of on the goal line if they try to punish Montgomery in there. I just want to see more eye-popping plays, and Dexter Lawrence build off what he had a week ago. So I'm going Theo Johnson, I'm going Dexter Lawrence, and I don't think it's outrageous to ask more of either of those guys based on the fact that they have positive momentum going, both of them, for the first time this year.
Theo Johnson right now has 350 receiving yards on the year. He needs 150, obviously more to get to 500. There's 6 games left in the year. That's 25 receiving yards per game.
You should get that.
If he doesn't get to 500, I will be very disappointed, number one. And number two, the drop rate. His drop rate was actually higher last year, believe it or not, at around 11%.
Doesn't shock me, though, because he's gotten more targets, I would assume, this year.
The drop rate is 7.3% this year, 4 drops. All of them, I feel like, are on third down, so they feel big.
They're important.
I want that drop rate to get down to 5%.
I'm with you. And I'm willing to say, hey, you've learned and grown and you've made strides. I'm willing to do it. You've done it for 2 straight weeks, but that doesn't mean we take a step backwards here. Keep building on that.
Yeah. 5 touchdowns on the year and being a legit target inside the red zone. Huge. Like let's walk away from this year where Theo Johnson is in his age 24 season. Let's go into year 3 at age 25 and be like, all right, maybe we got somebody. I want to see a little bit more yak too. I know he had that play against Denver, but this was a little bit of the worry of him coming out of Penn State, like in the back of my brain for me, that maybe I didn't vocalize as much as I should have. The athleticism stuff is there, but he still doesn't break tackles or I still feel like he
that opening touchdown versus San Francisco a couple weeks ago, he did to an extent, but yes, I want to see more of that.
He had a really the awesome touchdown against San Fran, but more stuff like that where you're breaking tackles, not just being like, all right, well, once you actually get up to speed, almost like an Engram, where he wasn't necessarily quick, but he was very fast. And I think Theo's like a similar thing. Obviously, Theo is much bigger at 264 pounds. But
I just don't. How about this, Justin? The Giants are going to have enough needs in the offseason, and we're going to do a million podcasts on what they need to add. Yeah. How about not make me feel like really, truly upgrading tight end needs to be a priority? Like, make me go into next offseason feeling comfortable. You know what? This is a number 1 tight end in the league.
For sure. All right, before we move on to segments, I do want to give a quick shout out to Nike. I have my Kobe Bryant sweatshirt on. This is from Nike. I said to Nike, I want a black sweatshirt. They gave me $150 to spend on their site, and I didn't realize this was the Kobe Bryant logo. I love it so much. So quick shout out to Nike. Thank you so much. We are an affiliate sponsor on Nike this year, so go check out our affiliate link in the description below to shop some amazing Nike gear. Shaun Morash, we are moving on to the touchdown draft, and we're deciding this right now. Because I mean, you got to get back. You got to get back into this, man.
I know. I'm killing you in picks. By the way, nice undefeated week you had last week, but not in the touchdown draft.
Yeah, well, in the undefeated week, I went 0 for 3 in the touchdown draft last week. I drafted Theo Johnson, Josh Jacobs, and Jalen Hyatt. Because I said it may be the last time that I could do it. Can you imagine if he caught that pass?
Hysterical.
It would have been plus. It would have been 900. That would have been huge. Plus 900. You drafted Christian Watson, the Packers defense, and Luke Musgrave. Now here's the debate that I want to have with you.
The 2 touchdowns.
The 2 touchdowns. Now I have not done it like so far this year, and I'm not going to go back and do it. But do we want to make an amendment in the brand new Talk of Giants Touchdown Draft 2.0 featuring Shaun Marach and Josh Pennick? Do we want to make an amendment that's starting now? If you score 2 touchdowns, you can
get
double
the number.
Your points.
You get the number for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think you should, and it adds an interesting wrinkle. So for those of you listening, Justin includes kind of a spreadsheet, and he includes directly from DraftKings these numbers, and now he's included the 2 touchdown numbers. The reason I bring up it's an interesting wrinkle is you might think to yourself, oh, okay, so if I took, guy number 7 with the most odds, but what it does is it makes you probably be more likely to take the favorite because their 2 touchdown number gives you good juice. Like Jahmyr Gibbs is plus 190 for 2 touchdowns. I think we should do that. I think if a guy scores 2 touchdowns, you get the benefit of the 2 touchdown odds number. Yeah. It's a good wrinkle.
I want to give that to you because you need it. And it actually does bring, now that I went 0 for 3, and the only guy that I've had score, oh my God, I'm on since week 7, which I went 3 for 3. Since the Broncos game where I went 3 for 3, I have gone 0 for 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 out of the 4 weeks. And the only player that I have had score a touchdown is Kyle Monungai at minus 155.
That's crazy. And I still haven't been able to catch up.
Yeah. So the score actually is a little closer now. So Christian Watson was at plus 245. So you're going to get 490 now. That's how many points you're going to get.
Okay.
So now we're at 2,305 points for me, 1,875 points for you. It's evened up. I like that amendment that we made.
Okay. We're in. Let's have some fun here.
So.
And just to reiterate, because I get this remember, is top 5 or top 6 we can only take one guy from?
Top 5.
Got it. Okay, that's very important.
Who has the first pick?
I've already forgotten.
I do.
Okay.
No. I do. And I don't care if it's wrong.
Okay.
This is tough because for the first time ever in our Talking Giants Touchdown Draft 2.0.
All right, the top 5 for those listening who are like, well, who the hell's in the top 5? It's Gibbs, St. Brown, Montgomery, Jameson Williams, and Tyrone Tracy.
Yes, and 3. Gibbs, St. Brown, and Montgomery are all minus. Mm-hmm. First time ever that we've had 3 guys in the top 5 minus, I think.
Tells you the story of where this game's headed, but okay.
Okay, well, why don't I just take... I feel like Jaxson Dart at plus 185 is here, and he's not in the top 5. I feel like he's just sitting there waiting for me to take him. I'm going to take Jaxson Dart at plus 185.
And he's plus 1,300 should he run in 2 touchdowns. So I think that's a great play.
Put $10 on it.
Okay. I am going to take Devin Singletary. Look, he ran around the end zone last week instead of Tracy, so why not? Plus 185. Okay. Same odds as Jaxson Dart.
So we're both at plus 185.
Probably not a smart strategy. We both went Giants to start in a game we expect the Lions to score
not real, but I mean, there's 4.
I know
4 Lions are in the favorites. 4 Lions are in the top 5. Damn, man. We're only allowed to take 1 as a reminder of the rules. Do not take Khalif Raymond. Get out of here with Khalif Raymond. Gosh, man. All right, just give me Jahmyr Gibbs. I need to just score a touchdown and get back on the board. So I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs.
So you've made things easy for me because now I know I could hold my top 5 pick.
Yep.
All right. So for me, I'd be an idiot not to do this with no Sam Laporta. Give me Brock Wright plus 230 to score a touchdown, plus 1,900 on 2 TDs.
Nice. And I'm going to do what I've been doing every single week, which is basically taking Theo Johnson at plus 260.
Okay, I have to take somebody inside the top 5, although I'm a little annoyed.
You don't have to.
No, I have to because I need the points. I'm taking David Montgomery because around the goal line, why wouldn't I do that?
No, I'm on Ra.
No, I'm not going Amon-Ra. I'm going David Montgomery. I think they're going to get killed on the ground. So wait, now you're done, right?
I'm done.
I'm going to make another prediction on a guy. It doesn't count. Tesla, I think, is going to score a touchdown in this game.
Okay. I mean, despite him, he has 4 catches on the year for 2 touchdowns.
Just a little hunch talking to some people in Detroit. I think that the evolution of him is coming towards the end of the year here.
They're up by 3 touchdowns at the end, and then he gets
that could be 2. That could be 2. Just keep an eye on that, and just remember I said it. And then if he doesn't, then forget I said anything.
Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 touchdowns. Amon-Ra, 8 touchdowns. Jameson Williams, 5 touchdowns. And
so I got a Singletary, Brock Wright, David Montgomery game. I got to get some points out of this.
Well, Jahmyr Gibbs also has 2 receiving touchdowns, too. So.
Yep.
All right.
That's why he's the favorite, Justin.
All right. All right, the touchdown draft and spread picks coming up are brought to you by our partners over at DraftKings. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins, plus 3 months of NBA League Pass on us. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JAMFOOTBALL. That's code JAMFOOTBALL to get $200 in bonus bets instantly if your first $5 bet hits, plus 3 months of NBA League Pass. No matter what, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Shaun, there is something happening in spread picks. Just like I am cold in the touchdown draft, your record over the last 3 weeks, 2-6 in week 9, 1-7 in week 10, and 3-5 in week 11.
Yep. I've kind of collapsed. I was like 10 to 12 games over 500, wasn't I? Something like that.
The difference is that last week I actually had a good week. I went 6-2.
Not undefeated, though.
Not undefeated. One of my losses was brutal with the Pats last week because it was like 10.5, or they basically I lost by a half point.
Yes,
you won by a half point. So on the season, I am 29-34, and Shaun, you are 33-30. So we are getting close in spread picks.
Okay, cool.
Bills at Texans. Texans are home, 6-point dogs.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Thursday night's been wacky. I love this Texan defense. I'm going to place an actual firm bet on the under in this game, but I'm going to take the Texans plus 6 here. Bills, weird team on the road, too.
I am also going to take the Texans plus 6. The Texans are a weird team. It's one of those teams that I haven't really gotten a full chance to watch this year. Like, I love CJ Stroud, and I want to walk away from Thursday Night Football still saying that, yeah, CJ, I still love CJ Stroud.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
It's Davis Mills.
I don't know what all right, then you're changing my mind.
Okay, change your mind. The Texans, by the way, this is about the Texan defense this year. They are an awesome defense. I know.
This lets you know that I'm paying attention to stuff. Bills minus 6.
Okay.
Steelers at Bears.
Bears are 2.5-point favorites. I'm just going to bring up the little bullet point here. We don't know what the deal is. Aaron Rodgers wants to play. Right. It's about a safety thing. The whole thing is thrown off right now with Rodgers.
So because both of these teams, like the Bears, are forcing a lot of turnovers on the defensive side. I think the Bears take, even regardless of who's at quarterback, I think, and this may come back to bite me right in the face, I think the Bears cool off, and I think the Steelers cover this. So give me Steelers plus 2.5.
I want to make this clear. With my own hard-earned money, this is one of the games on the board I would never bet at all. Like I don't have a true feel for it. I think it's a fascinating game, but I'm with you. My lean here is Bears have had this basically, luck string up their rump here. I think the Steelers figure it out.
Yeah.
Tomlin dog walks Ben Johnson in a spot like this.
It'll be an ugly game.
Ugly game. But also I'm not actually betting that game. No way.
Jets at Ravens. Ravens minus 13.5. This is our weekly check-in. The Shaun Morash. What's going on in the world of the New York Jets?
Tyrod Taylor is starting. Aaron Glenn didn't even try to hide it this week, so we officially bring
Wow.
Justin Fields to the bench in this spot. Jets got a little bit of wake-up medicine losing last week on Thursday Night Football, but overall, remember, this is still a team that traded away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, and this is a big, big test versus Lamar Jackson and company.
Do you have Ravens covering?
Yes, I have the Ravens covering.
I think I'm also going to take the Ravens covering. Tyrod.
I actually think an interesting thing I'm going to bring to the radio that I have not done yet, if I gave you Giants and Jets combined plus 28.5, would you take them in their combined scores this week?
Whoa. That's a lot of math.
I know it is a lot of math.
Because the Jets is plus 13.5 and the Giants are plus 10.5.
So that, and I'm even adding 5 points to that on the combined.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
New York football's awesome.
It is.
By the way, I already mentioned this with Dunleavy, so I'm going to be repeating it. But do you know how many turnovers the Jets have forced this year?
None.
They forced one turnover on the defense side. It was fumble recovery against the Broncos. Andre Sisco fell on it.
Yeah.
The NFL record, and this is a good talking point too. The NFL record for least amount of turnovers forced in a season is the 2018 49ers with 7. So that could be a Jets turnover watch that you can do every week. So,
I love it. I love that.
Will the Jets make the history books?
Yeah.
Good conversation. That's what we're watching Tankathon, and can the Jets defense be historically bad forcing turnovers? Colts at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 3.5. I'm going to a Chiefs game. The weekend of the Giants bye. I will be at Texans and Chiefs. I'm excited about it. DraftKings is legalizing gambling in Missouri, and they're sending me there. So cool. What do you got? I'm very excited for it.
Look, it's bleep or get off the pot time for Kansas City, right? And a big time spot for the Colts off of the bye. They thought they were losing that game 2 weeks ago. The number's probably a sweet spot. I'm going to take Kansas City laying the 3.5.
I think I'm with you. I'm with you.
Full blown. Put it this way: if the Chiefs, you want them just going to win. If the Chiefs don't figure out a way to win this game by 3.5 points, I think you'd start sounding the alarm bells on them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it gets to the point where it's almost like they're not as bad as the Bengals last year, but you know how like all the power rankings, like they had like the Bengals like in the top 10 all of last year. It's like the same thing with the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are like a top 5 team in the NFL with the 5-5 record. We eventually will have to start taking the Chiefs out of your top 5, top 10 in power rankings if they are a 5-6 football team. I don't think that's going to happen. Give me the Chiefs. They're 4-1 at home. So that means they're 1-4 on the road. Wow. Browns at Raiders. Raiders are home favorites by 3.5 points. I want to take this time to say I think it's okay to outwardly not root for Shedeur Sanders. Like if you don't like him, I don't like him as a player. He's kind of an ass, and I think that's okay. Like I don't think that about a lot of people. I just don't like him. So let's go Raiders, even though both of these teams are horrible.
This is going to be my main watch at 4:00, even as we do Talking Giants. That's why I love having Sunday Ticket. It is, even over Eagles Cowboys.
Not Eagles Cowboys.
No, not Eagles Cowboys, because it's enough. I've seen the Cowboys a million times. This will be like my main big screen game. I'm fascinated by this game. I also think Shedeur Sanders, actually, I feel bad for him because all these people that bend over backwards to support him, like Josina Anderson, I think are actually hurting Shedeur's credibility.
You know what? That is fair. That is fair.
I do. Like, in a way, I feel bad for him. Like, these people don't even realize you think you're helping by propping him up. You're making him more of a joke. That being said, give me the 2 bad teams. Give me the 3.5 and Shedeur to have a little moment here and sign me up for Josina Anderson's Twitter after. I'm in.
I will say that it was funny just going through her timeline. I will say. God. Like, I enjoyed it.
An against all odds moment versus the 2-8 Raiders.
The against all odds completion on a 3rd and 10, where it was Jerry Jeudy on a drag, a 3-yard drag, and then he broke tackles, but she made it be like the against all odds completion. Oh my god,
oh so good.
Eagles at Cowboys. Eagles are 3-point favorites on the road. Where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm taking the Eagles in the game. I think the Eagles win the game, so I'm going to take them to cover the game. It's a low enough spread for me.
You know what? Maybe the Cowboys start to make some things interesting. Maybe that new look defense is legit.
I think
the Raiders is a tough first litmus test, by the way, because they're that O-line, that entire offense and team is in.
Look at those Cowboy
shambles.
wins. Look at the Cowboy wins.
I know.
Raiders, Giants, Jets.
I already said it though. Did I do you think I just locked that in?
Washington. What?
Do you think I just locked in Cowboys?
I'm let you free on it.
All right, because I'm gonna go with Eagles because you're so right about why am I think this is the same old Cowboys of
Washington, Jets, Giants, Raiders, all terrible teams.
They don't beat anybody over 500.
Yep. And it's only a 3-point spread.
Eagles. Great.
Okay.
I'm not don't fall for it. I fall for it every year, and I haven't fallen for it in the last 2 years. Like 2023, I fell for it hard. I was like, oh my God, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys are basically the Atlanta Falcons with drip.
Give me the Eagles.
Okay.
2 more games. Bucks at Rams. Rams, 6.5-point favorites at home. Sunday Night Football. Excited for this on Sunday Night Football. I love old man Stafford, MVP, but I just don't. Sunday Night Football, when there's a big spread like this, the other team is going to cover because Sunday Night Football is magic. Give me the Bucks.
We're going to be head up on this. I am every week. I keep picking the Bucks, thinking they're the same Bucks from the beginning of the year. I don't trust that. I know Baker Mayfield made a bunch of plays last week. He still at least seems off with that oblique. I'm taking the Rams to cover.
All right. And ironically enough, I'm excited about this game because I do not get a chance to watch the Carolina Panthers that much. So Panthers at 49ers, Monday Night Football, 49ers -7. Shaun, take us home.
First Monday night game I'm going to miss in whole year. I'll be at the Knicks-Nets game with the entire Evan and Tiki crew.
Oh, nice.
Knicks and Nets at Barclays Center. Shout out SeatGeek, right?
Shout out SeatGeek. Is that an expensive ticket? Not on SeatGeek.
I got a free ticket.
Nice. Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I'll be in a suite. Okay.
Sounds sweet.
That being said, the Carolina Panthers are just such a weird team, right? So they're getting 7 here. 49ers are Purdy and company back. Big spot for McCaffrey versus his old friends. I hate this. But I'm taking Carolina. I hate it, though.
I'm going to take San Fran. I don't know if Carolina's ready. I don't know if they're ready yet.
Yeah, I hate, as I say that, if you had to say, Shaun, what's the one game you know you're getting wrong? My guess would be I'm losing this Monday night game, but it's a big spread for a banged-up Niner team still.
All right, that's spread picks. And, of course, Giants versus Lions score prediction. Shaun, what do you got?
I think the Giants are going to score points in this game. I don't think it's going to be nearly enough because I think their defense is terrible. I think the Giants lose the game 44-27, and the Lions cover.
Lions 37, Giants 24.
Okay. That's 13, so it's still a cover for the Lions.
Still a cover for the Lions.
Sounds like fun, Justin. Can't wait to recap it Sunday.
While I
watch Browns Raiders as we do this.
Shaun will have Browns Raiders giving Sure Sanders updates as well. We will see you on Sunday. Appreciate you all. We'll be live after the game on YouTube, and if not, then we'll see you on the podcast apps. Monday morning. Appreciate you. Let's go Giants.
It starts today. Let's go Giants! We woo!